I'm your host, Elizabeth, and this is For the Talkers. Hello, talkers, and happy Thursday and happy 2025. I've never really been a New Year's person. I don't feel necessarily that attached to the holiday, if you will. But I know some people are really into it. So if you're into it, I commend you. Congratulations. Yeah, I feel like collectively resolutions are a little bit out. They're a little bit out. I'm not sure what's in me, and I know other people, but I specifically do it kind of with my aunt, have like a word for the year. So if you are going into the new year with new intentions, new goals, I just wish you the best of luck. I know it's hard. Something that I'm going to start 2025 off with is no social media. So I'm going to have to figure out how to do that with the podcast, but I lack zero self-control. And so I am just taking a big fat break. And yeah, I might go more into that. I think I'm going to do an episode next week. And yeah, go a little more into that and, kind of the intentions for the year. Me and Grace have had a lot of really, really fun conversations about what we want 2025 to hold for us and what we're going to do to make it be the year that we want. That's kind of and I've really been thinking about the podcast so much. I mean, new year causes time for reflection. I'm not in school. Well, I'm in my break for school right now, so I definitely have more brain real estate up for commission on different thoughts. I've been thinking about the podcast and I love it and it's not going anywhere, but I think it definitely has room to become more authentic to what I want it to be. And we're just taking it slow. We're figuring it out. So I think for the next couple episodes, we're going to have more just me solo chatting and interviews with people that are in person. I think that made a huge difference. So if you guys missed last week's episode, I got to do it in person with some podcast hosts, Lily and Addie, who live nearby me. So it was just so perfect and so fun. And I like that the connection that it can bring. And sometimes just based on technology, it was hard for me to bring authenticity and more connection that I wanted to. Not going to harp on that, but you'll get to hear lots from me. I have next week's episode written out. I cannot wait. It's going to be so good. And really thinking about the podcast, I just hope y'all listen and go, I hadn't thought about that. I hadn't thought about that before. I hadn't heard that. This is something new. Oh, that's a new way of looking at things. I'm not here to tell anyone what to do. I'm just as confused as the next girl, but I am here to make a space for people to share and bring things. And that ranges from extremely serious to extremely silly. Keeping that in mind, I just love that kind of open, right? Okay, moving right along. That's all I have to say. I have just been so excited to record all day. So I'm feeling nice and chatty. And yeah, I'm going to do my happy, funny, sad moment from the week. And these might be out. You guys, I'm just getting a little uncreative when it comes to the happy, funny, sad. I'm ready for some change. Like how you would rearrange your bedroom constantly, typically at night is when I would do it. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for something new. But I already had these prepared. Starting with sad. It makes me so sad to watch and kind of slowly grow with grandparents getting old. It's sad. I think that's the perfect word to describe it. It's just sad. It's natural and whatever, and there's a lot of other feelings that come along with it, but it's sad and it's hard. And my grandma passed away when I was in high school, and so getting to know her old has just been different than getting to know my other side of grandparents getting old and getting to see Grace's grandparents. And it's just, yeah, it's interesting. But my funny does go along with that because we had our Christmas dinner with Grace's grandparents, and Grace is they're such a storytelling family. Okay, I love it. I'm here for it. Okay, we're yapping. We're sitting around the dinner table, just chatting, sharing stories. It's great. And Tanner was telling a story of how he had this bike and there weren't brakes on it, and whatever. He'd gone to get some pizza and was like riding his bike home, and he was going like super quick. And then something happened and he like crashed. And Granny, like with her chest, was like, well, were the pizzas okay? Like, what happened to the pizza? Solid burn. It was amazing. And we stand Granny for that. And so, yes, makes me sad, but love them. Love them. They're so funny. And then my happy is my best friend, Cami. Yeah, life has surely flipped itself upside down on us, but I'm just so grateful for my friends and the family and the support that I have. And Tammy just makes me so happy. She knows exactly what to say. We have so many common interests, so we just love to chat. And yeah, she's my happy this week. So today's agenda, my notes are looking a little sparse. So we're doing a lot of freestyling here, but we're just going to lean into that. It's technically labeled as the confidence recap. That's what I was thinking it. We did a whole episode, I think 11 episodes. I think this will be number 12, all about confidence. And it was super fun. And I learned a lot. And honestly, probably a big reason why I wanted to do a season all on confidence is because I don't feel confident. And I think what came up in a lot of these conversations was, you can definitely have moments or you can have like a false idea of confidence. And I definitely have great moments for sure. But what I loved, especially with a lot of these women who were in such different stages than I am, it was really refreshing and beautiful because all of them, like every single person that I interviewed on this season, they were truly confident. It was like inspiring to kind of see that, like, okay, it's okay that I'm not there yet. I'm still working on it. And I think that's great. And I think, yeah, it was fun to learn from them. So if you missed any of the episodes this season, please go listen. Amazing, inspiring conversations that just open up different perspectives. And it was really great. And so some of the highlights that kind of stuck out through the season, having patience. Change doesn't happen overnight, right? So if we want to build our confidence, that it's a journey that we definitely need to be patient with. Being curious, really committing and being clear with yourself. A lot of C words, Thomas. Ask for help, ask to learn. I think I wrote that down thinking about, I think everyone has a take on pretty much everything, right? So confidence or whatever it is that you're interested in or you're wanting to grow or develop, that can happen through asking. And like interviewing all these women really showed me, because it was so fun, as I even got more confident in my interviewing and being able to like really ask the questions that I wanted to have that conversation go where I wanted it to. And the last highlight I have is creating a community and how important that is. I think not even intentionally, each woman that I interviewed at some point brought up the community that they had. For the last episode with Lily and Addie, I mean, they had their roommates and their families that they were talking about, and some people talking about their partners a lot or their friends. Giovanna in the episode Girl Chat on Confidence, I believe, brought up her mom and the support that her mom and community that her and her mom have together. So it wasn't even necessarily something that was being vocalized, but going back and listening to all the episodes, that was a pattern that really stuck out. And just how important it is. And as has kind of been brought up, is like really, really curating that community and being selective in the people that get to influence you, because it does make a difference. And so it's really important. And I'm saying and so much. And then one kind of whoa, if you will, that I wrote down that really stuck out to me was confidence radiates outwards. And another theme that really came up a lot was how confidence is so internal and it feels and looks so external. It does. And that's what we grow up thinking because, you're still learning and you're growing. And I always say like your brain is squishy. It's new. And I don't know, like I really felt so inspired getting to know different people and specifically having this conversation because it is so inward out and not vice versa. And that's super, super hard. And I think that, there are different personalities and different maybe like situations, where you grew up, where you went to school, what you did in school, et cetera, all these different things that kind of curate and I don't know, make your environment essentially to create your thinking on what confidence is. And I have felt like so inspired and changed by taking these things into account and like really looking at myself and working on it and making that actual effort. I think it was in the conversation with Leslie Draffin, Healing Era Witches is her episode. But she talked about the importance of taking care of you. And I agree with that so much. I just want to harp on that for a minute because hearing that and then kind of thinking about what that means to me we all, I think, to some degree want to make a difference. We want to serve and do things for others and et cetera, et cetera. And I just love that sentiment that we have to have confidence in ourselves. We have to love ourselves. We have to know who we are. I think that is so important, came up a lot. And something that I'm working on, I want to be my most authentic self. And that like desire is so strong. But then that bumps up against, okay, well then who am I? Right. And so working on that and figuring that out, it's been a journey and I love it. And maybe this is just your 20s wrapped in a nutshell, but it's been great. And I loved learning and I'm grateful because I'm going to keep going on with these themes of confidence and working on ourselves to better our communities. Okay. I love it. And so some of the things that I took from this season and that I will be doing and remind you that they were brought up. One from Susan Padron. She's a stylist, a personal stylist. So she said to pay attention to your favorite piece of clothes. Okay. Pay attention, what makes you feel good. And then Lily and Addie brought this up a lot too about fashion and how like wearing what you feel good in really does make a difference. So that is something that actionable step to be more confident that I'm taking. And then another one that I loved was write 3 things that you're afraid of and then just take a baby step to do one of those. Yeah, and really commit came up a lot too. So those are definitely things that I'm going to be doing and kind of took from this season. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. As I kind of mentioned, I think we're going to lean away from such an interview heavy style, but I don't know. We'll see. I do want to just kind of try things out, give everything a shot. So there's my little recap on what I thought of the confidence season, and I can't wait. And I would love to hear from you guys on what you thought. You can always email me 4.thetalkers@gmail.com. I won't be on Instagram, so I guess just do that, please. Anyway, so that's kind of the bulk of what I wanted to chat about this week. Keeping it light, keeping it short. Holiday season, your girl is busy and stressed, and we are going on a vacation, which is equal parts amazing and terrifying. So definitely getting packed up the night before, recording the episode night before naturally. So what I want to end the episode with today is talking about a book that we read for the book club for The Readers, and it fits so perfectly with this. And so if you didn't read it, I'd love for you to still listen. If I get into any spoilers, I'll let you know. But I really just want to bring up the book. So it was called Anxious People. And it was, wow, I really haven't read a book like it, so it's kind of hard to describe, but there were just a lot of different characters, and you got to hear their own perspective. And then the narrator also had like a big perspective that would kind of go in between those chapters. And then it was flashbacks and flash forwards. Like there was a lot going on, and it was beautiful and complex, and I loved it. And it really was. It was documenting anxious people, and it felt like really authentic and real to me. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. And I told Grace multiple times when we were reading it, like, I feel like I know this person. I feel like I know someone just like this, or like it just, they felt like real people, and it was really nice to see their nitty-gritty and down to the wire, and like just even in their banter and their conversations, it was great. It was beautiful. So overall rating got a 9. Average to 9. So definitely a great read. The characters were all over the place, but the bank robber got the most votes. But yeah, other than that, it's completely all over the place. Our characters were Julie and Ro, and they were a lesbian couple. Stan, we love the representation. And then there was Annalena and Roger. No one voted for Roger as their favorite character. He was yeah, he was a good man. He was a good man. And then Estella was her own person. Zara was her own person. Leonard was his own person. And then Jim and Jack, which I did not appreciate from the author because I could not. They were these cops, and one is dad, one is son. And I couldn't keep track because Jim and Jack really is crazy. All right. So I included this question because, again, like I said, not even sure what this book is. Not even sure. So I gave the options of genre: comedy, drama, mystery, a blend, and other. And we got votes for mystery, a blend, and other. So really, this book was it was great. I included, this did get votes. Mystery. I felt like it was, well, it was like a police investigation. So it totally had those elements of mystery, which I really like. And it did a great job at balancing humor and emotional depth. People rated that a 4 out of 5 on a scale. So the first question, if you were one of the hostages, how do you think you would have responded to this situation? And my thoughts on this, I have no idea. With the book completed, I think I might have a different response than, say, I hadn't read the book all the way in this specific hostage situation. In a generalized hostage, that's a hard to say, hostage situation that you see like on TV, I would just sob. I just know it. I would just cry immediately, lay down, give up. I don't know. That sounds so grim, but I'm like, that would be so scary. And fight, flight, or freeze, I feel like I'm definitely a freeze. But in this specific situation, things might have been a little different. One person said they would have left or called the police. And then another person, okay, same here, said that they would be so scared and that they would buddy up with someone else. I love that. That's perfect. The next question I asked was, how do you think the book's portrayal of human connection and misunderstandings relates to real life situations? Like any good piece of literary fiction, there is a lot of truth embedded in an entirely improbable situation. I like how Bachman portrays characters as real people. Okay, see, they get it. And that's so true. And that is something to highlight. So funny. Like the actual like plot, love it. It's like improbable. That is a great way to put it. But then it almost makes these characters like easier to digest, maybe. And then this response that I just loved. This book does so well in relaying the message that everyone has a story and a reason behind their actions and behaviors. Giving space for people's feelings and giving them the benefit of the doubt helps me believe in the goodness of people all around. And isn't that just so sweet? But this definitely was like, what goes on behind closed doors kind of a thing where like you really got to see people and what they've been through, and I loved it. And this last thought from someone was, I love listening to the audiobook. It was so engaging, and I loved how it all tied up together in the end. I loved learning the bank robber's story. It was both comedic and heartfelt in the best way. I would definitely recommend this book to friends. So that is me recommending this book to all of you, my friends. So even if you're not a reader, this was a great audiobook. Me and Grace listened to the audiobook, and I told her, I'm like, it feels like TV. Like it feels like a show. You're learning these characters. It is improbable, like all TV shows are. So it was really wonderful. And that's all I have for today. So I'm going to wrap it up. But I just have to say, my year would not have looked the same without the podcast and for all of you listening. And it really makes me so happy. I love creating and being creative and learning new ways to do that. And this is one of them. And it's super fun. And you know what? End of the day, if it's something for me to go back to listen to, because I am like For the Jockers #1 fan. I listen to episodes, I'm like, this is great. So maybe I'm my own niche audience. But anyways, just have to say grateful for all of you. Hope you are all staying safe. I know there's I feel like a million different sicknesses going on right now. So be strong. Sending good vibes to everyone's way. And if you haven't already, a rating on the show would really mean a lot to me. It's so, so easy. In Spotify, you just click the 3 dots and then rate show. And in Apple, it just has like the little stars and you just click them. And if you would feel so inclined to write a review, girl, it can say love, and that's it. That's all I need. Okay, that's all I have to say. And I really will be quiet now, but I've been looking forward to recording all day. Love this podcast. Love you all. Thank you for the support. Email me, and I love ya. Thanks for listening. Remember to leave a rating and review, subscribe, and come back next Thursday for a new episode. And remember, you matter, and what you have to say matters.